Hey there, so today I'm going to be talking about this will be Kiss, their 10th studio album. It's called Creatures of the Night. So this album here was released on October 28th of 1982. So around this time, I think the lineup changed. The lineup changed around this time because I don't believe Ace Frehley, I don't think, was with them. So the lineup for this one here is Paul Stanley, Eric Carr on drums. Ace Frehley was with them. Yeah, I think this was his last album. That's right. Peter Criss wasn't with them. Ace Frehley was still with them. I think this was like his last album with them until, oh geez, trying to think, probably 98 or sometime in the 90s. So I think this was his last album. And then he'd done an album with them years, I think 98, I believe. So it was like 16 years later, he came back to the band and done that album, one of the albums in 98. So like I said, yeah, so Paul Stanley on guitar, there's Eric Carr on drums, Ace Frehley on lead guitar, Gene Simmons on bass. So it says here this album was produced by Michael James Jackson, Paul Stanley, and Gene Simmons. But yeah, this definitely is a great album. So this would be kind of like their last album. I believe it was like their last album. This was like the last album with makeup, and then I believe the next album in '83, sometime then, the next album after this, they decided to go without makeup. Look completely different, but all those years from when they formed in '73, they wore, makeup, face paint like this. And then they decided to, in the '80s, '83, all the way up until, I think, '97. That's like 14 years. But yeah, going back to this album, like I said, it was released on October 28th of 1982. So there's 9 songs on this album. So this album here is like a hard rock, heavy metal album. So it starts off with Creatures of the Night, Saint and Sinner, Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger, I Love It Loud, I Still Love You, Killer, and then the very last song is War Machine. This, yeah, definitely is. I found this album here heavier than the other album I'd done before this, Love Gun. I found it was more heavier. So around this time, '82, I found their music started getting more heavy, like more heavy metal than ever. And in the '80s, '83, '84, like it kind of got heavy like that. But the stuff before that was kind of like hard rock. I guess you could consider it heavy metal. The stuff stuff in the '70s was hard rock, I found. Not as heavy as this stuff. It kind of got heavier in the '80s, I found. Completely different from the stuff they released in the '70s, I found, because it was more heavier. But yeah, great album. Definitely for sure. So it said, yeah, 1982. So this must, yeah, remastered. So it was, came out 82, but this was remastered on CD 97. So 15 years later, after it was released, they released it on a CD. But yeah, definitely, if you're a Kiss fan, this is definitely one to check out for sure. There's the back of it. Yeah, so I found that, it was different because when Eric Carr joined the band, like that's him right there, the guy with the right there, you can see it right there. Decided to be like a, like with Kiss, if you know anything about Kiss, with their makeup, like Gene Simmons is like the demon, Paul Stanley's like the Star Child. And Ace Frehley is like a spaceman. How he's, and but yeah, like I say, great album. Definitely for sure. Definitely worth checking out for sure. Um, so yeah, a lot of these songs up. So yeah, Creatures of the Night. Paul Stanley sings lead vocals on Saint and Sinner. Gene Simmons sings lead vocals. Keep Me Coming. Paul Stanley is on lead vocals. Rock and Roll. So it says here, Rock and Roll Hell. So it says all the people. Gene Simmons. Oh, geez, I did not know this. Bryan Adams and Jim Valance. I didn't know Bryan Adams. Did he help write that? I'm not sure. Oh, had no idea if it's the Bryan Adams that I'm thinking of. That sings, Summer of '69. I think so, actually, because Jim Valance, I think they wrote for, when Bryan Adams for his albums and that. He helped write some of the stuff too, I think. So I'm pretty sure that might be. Comment down in the comments down below if you know for sure if he did write some songs for Kiss, Bryan Adams, or anything like that. And it says Danger, which Paul Stanley sings lead vocals on. I Love It Loud. I think it was written by Paul Stanley. And Gene Simmons, I believe, sings lead vocals on that. I Still Love You, which I believe Paul Stanley sings lead vocals on that. Killer, which Gene Simmons sings lead vocals on. And War Machine, which Gene Simmons, I believe, sings lead vocals. And also it says Bryan Adams and Jim Valance. So I take it Bryan Adams wrote that song too. Helped write it or that. Had no idea if it's the one that I'm thinking of. This sings Summer '69, Heaven, those songs, Run to You. So if you know for sure, comment down in the comments. This is the first time seeing this. I had no idea. And I had this album, I should say CD or album, since early 2000s maybe. For a long time, and I just noticed that now. All those years having it, I just noticed it. That's weird. Crazy. So I go through the songs again. So there's Creatures of the Night, Saint and Sinner, Keep Me Coming, Rock and Roll Hell, Danger, I Love It Loud, I Still Love You, which is the longest song on here, 6 minutes and 6 seconds long. Killer. The very last is War Machine. Yeah, so if you know, comment down in the comments down below and let me know. But yeah, I had no idea if he did. I had no idea. That's crazy. So thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. So I'm gonna try to get as many as I can today. I don't know if I'm gonna get them all done today, but I got let me see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more to do. So So I have probably, with that, I have one, two, three cassette tapes on it, and the other ones are on CD, which cassette tapes today are rare. So anyways, let me know what you think, and thank you so much for supporting my channel. Greatly appreciate it for that. So thank you very much for that. And make sure to hit that thumbs up, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and thank you very much, and bye.